right, so we should be coming on live any minute. We've got a glorious day down here. So what a day to be talking about health, because that's what we're talking about this month. So just bear with me while I get myself up in the group. There we go. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to be working from the particular document I'm talking about today. So there'll be a different screen that'll come up. But before I get to hello, happy Thursday if you're in Melbourne, Australia, and it's 1 o'clock, and we're always here at 1 o'clock live. It's Kate, the Courageous Inspirer Coach, and this month I'm focused on health. So all the topics with my coaching clients is around health, as long as sort of attached to boundaries as well. So boundaries in general, setting our boundaries, but healthy habits is very much a part of that. So if you do pop in live, just make sure that you let me know that you're here and say hi. If you're watching the replay, I love it when people put actually #replay, because again, it gives me an understanding of topics that maybe of interest to my audience and my group, and I'm here to serve. Yeah. So today we're talking about how to utilize eating healthy to be vibrant and have vitality. Big statement, I know, but there's lots of foods out there that we eat for this and we do it for this, and we it's good for this and it's good for that. But this document really is just very much focused on vibrancy and vitality. So it works a lot with the energy, how we can tap into that energy. There's lots of, look, healthy habits and health in general is such a broad topic. But at the moment, what I'm doing is really just trying to hone in on certain areas of health. And it's leading up to our Manifest Your Health, which is our 5-day challenge this month, which is coming up on the 30th of October. And the registrations are open for that now. So if you haven't cited it and you want more information about it, let us know when you see this video. We'll put the link, the registration link, into the comments. So let's get to the document. So this document is about, and this was our freebie. So this has actually come out. It was our freebie on Tuesday. So again, if you didn't raise your hand to receive this, it's not too late. Okay, you can raise your hands, but you only have the week of the freebie announcement to access the freebie. That's probably very important to understand. They don't stay on for free forever. You do need to raise your hand and ask for the freebies in the week that it's been posted. So creating a sustainable diet that provides healthy. Hello, Magdalena, my lovely lady. Magdalena is a client of mine and a beautiful lady. I'm pretty sure, I think you're at the group call when I drop this into the chat. So you may have this document. If you don't, then it'll come your way, because as a coaching client, you get whatever I offer for free. All right, so creating a sustainable diet that provides healthy foods to eat that are sustainable is the best way to lose weight and improve your body's health. So rather than fad diets, or rather than crash diets, I should say, everything about your overall vitality and vibrancy and health, in my opinion, very much comes from sustainability, longevity. What can we do to create healthy eating long term? All right, long term. So let's get going in the document. So some of the things, and you know what? Whenever I go through documents like this, and particularly with my clients as well, a lot of them, they know this stuff, right? So I tend to draw a lot of people towards me, even as clients that are very interested in healthy habits and live a very healthy life. But we can never not know. I mean, we don't know everything, or we might know something our way. And that's what all this is about. For creating that growth mindset, for really always being in the space of personal growth and being your personal best. It's great to open up your insight to areas that you may even think you are totally got a handle of. You know what I mean? Because you never quite know. All right, so let's have a look. I'm going to flick down to some of the very basics that a lot of you will understand. But again, this document may be just hones in a little bit, giving a little bit more detail about these macros. Yeah. So protein, this is essentially one of the essential components of a healthy nutrition. Yeah. It provides body with fuel and supports to operate on a day-to-day basis. It's very much the fuel, the way that our body does what it needs to do. All right. So protein, in my opinion, is a very, very important one. These are the big ones. Yeah. Fat. Most people group fats into the same category, but this is flawed in my opinion. So some fats like omega-3 found in fish and so forth, nuts and seeds, play a big role in reducing inflammation and even warding off feelings of sadness or depression. So aim to incorporate healthy fats into your diet while staying away from bad ones like trans fats. Okay. So again, with fat, I'm quite big on adding all things to my diet rather than just focusing on one thing. Yeah, you'll notice that. So really, fats is another thing, as long as they are omega-3, are very, very good in the diet. It's just the trans fats that we're wanting to remove or eliminate or decrease. Carbohydrates, for me, this is quite critical because I'm a diabetic type 1. And I do notice that whenever I try and get onto a keto or an intermittent fasting, or if I do too much of it, if I strip back all carbohydrates, it very negatively affects me. So being in that ketosis state doesn't really work for me. It could work for maybe other diabetics, but for me, it doesn't really seem to work. So carbohydrates for everybody and anybody, particularly in the autoimmune areas like diabetes, you need to be very, very aware and educated on the effect that it will have on your body if it's taken away. So our body runs on carbs, all right? So really, again, those refined carbs or sugars are not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the healthy ones like fruits and whole grains. So limiting bread, starches, that's really going to peak up and drop down our energy. Whereas, those good carbs, which we do need, are going to stabilize things, including our energy. All right. So be very careful when you cut out one of these areas. Vitamins and minerals. Now, these come from foods like oranges. A huge variety of vitamins are in, a lot of minerals, or a lot in our fruits. But be aware that our foods at the moment, unless you've got access to the farmers, or you've got, you eat organic as such. Even organic is a little bit of a worry these days. There's just so many hidden toxins and chemicals within them that it is okay to look at supplements or look at things to support what maybe we're finding very, very difficult these days to get from our food. And that really is in that vitamin and mineral area. All right, so here's some tips. Here's some tips that I could offer. The first bit was just a bit factual. This is more tips. Detoxify the body. So detoxification is just such an important process of gut health. Okay, so I'm very lucky and blessed that I'm a part of a company called Partner Co. I'm actually a brand partner, and I'm more than happy to send people through information about the awesome and epic products that we have available through this company. And one of them in particular is the Energy Band, which is what I use to energize my cells and my body and repair damage. But then I need to get rid of a lot of that dead waste, and that this is where detoxification comes into handy. So if you're on anything where you're shredding or wanting to get rid of a lot of the toxins, and you're getting a helping hand with that, make sure that you're aware that it needs to leave the body. So it needs to get out of the body. Otherwise, we're just like a garbage bag never being emptied. So the detoxing, the ability of releasing those detoxes from the body is very, very important. Again, I've got Restorix, it's called, which is a beautiful product that I use. It's a powder, but it is important that through the detoxification process, you really do understand it's about eliminating that waste, and it needs to be done. Yeah. So detoxification in the body doesn't have to be harsh either. Cut out sugar and flour. This is huge. We hear this a lot, we shouldn't be having sugar in the diet. The damage of sugar in the diet. We know all this, but for me, I find the hardest part in this area is where to find the sugar. The sugar is hidden And flour is hidden in so many of our products. There's the obvious ones, so getting rid and stopping processed snacks like cookies and candies, things like that, that are just very damaging to your brain and your body. But there's all the others that are a little bit hidden. So it's a good idea, again, to get a little educated or to read the labels. Start reading labels of food rather than just sort of mindfulness, just grabbing stuff and because you've heard it's healthy. I think it's very, very important to be a lot more educated in what is in our foods before we put it in our mouths. Yeah. So cutting out sugar and flour, big one there. Number 3, work with a health coach or life coach. Just saying. Okay, so working with healthy habits. I mean, a big part of what I do with my clients is healthy habits. I'm not a health coach as such. I'm a life coach. But in regards to healthy habits in the mind and the body, without our health, we have very little. Yeah. And I live with this personally, having one kidney and a diabetic type 1. So I have to constantly be on top of my health and how I'm treating my mind and my body. But we all should. Okay, we all should. So really healthy habits in general, it doesn't have to be done alone. So if there's some coaches out there, if there's support out there, if you hear or you spend any time with one of them and you think, far out, they kind of got the knowledge that I need. I know this, and this. I live generally very healthy, but there could be more. Maybe I'm missing something in here. Maybe it's the mind health that I'm not really focused on. That soul, that inner awesomeness, that place of really richness of self. So healthy habits, again, is broad, and we don't want to just look at it in the food and the exercise and they're things that we must do, but there's a whole lot of other stuff in regards to healthy habits where a life coach or a health coach can help. So seek that out. All right, number 4, try intermittent fasting. What I would say with intermittent fasting, and I learned the hard way a little bit with this. I really actually do believe in intermittent fasting. I think it's fucking phenomenal. Like, I think it's really, really good. There's so many good benefits to allowing the body to fast. But again, it's about whatever illnesses or whatever is going on with your body or you're managing, to be very aware that your doctors, your teams are there supporting you and making sure that you're not going too far with it. So what I did a little bit with the intermittent fasting, I still believe in it a lot and I still will do it, is that I just took it too far. Like, I wanted to be able to do the highest level of intermittent fasting like everybody else was doing, or that's what I was looking at in my eyes. And I just pushed myself too far. So be very careful of intermittent fasting. And again, I strongly suggest that you get people supporting you on that sort of journey, because it's certain education that you need. All right, what have we got next? Number 5, using supplements. This is huge, yeah. So there's often this kind of thing of, not even like you're taking the easy road, or it's that you're just being sold stuff and that you don't even need. There's a bit of realness and correctness in that. That's kind of like that's actually a little bit right if you've not really found the education that you need and understand that there's a vast difference between supplements from, say, Chemist Warehouse, right? Not slamming all of theirs, but you can get the cheap option, or a product that's a supplement that really is going to be doing, like, life-changing, is really going to be doing your body so much goodness. All right. So again, I actually think supplements in this day and age in particular, it's freaking hard to get the level of nutrients and vitamins and what we need in our foods. And particularly, again, if you're dealing or you're living with an illness or a disease, and as we get older. Yeah. So supplements are great, but don't go cheap. and really, really work out, really find the science behind that supplement. The companies and the people, the scientists creating those supplements, make sure they're of the highest standard. it's something you don't want to go cheap on and just get what you can, because you're actually really totally wasting your time and money. So again, that's why I aligned myself with a particular company like PartnerCo, because I know the quality of their products and I'm prepared to pay that little bit more to make sure that it's doing what it needs to do. Yeah. So be just very careful with what you're choosing. All right. Number 6, incorporate fasting. So again, this is a little bit different. I'm not talking about here, just fasting in general or intermittent fasting in general. I'm looking at this from a point of view that losing weight. So if weight is something that you're really wanting to get more control of, or you're very focused on, losing weight is 80% focusing on healthy eating and 20% on exercise, and particularly aerobic exercise. So aerobic exercise is the best way to lose weight, and to keep your body performing at peak level, because it's pumping the heart and getting oxygen throughout the body and eliminating the fat storage. But in that, you can mix it up, and all are important. Like strength is important, flexibility is important. I'm not slamming all of it because it's all important. But if you look at that statement, that 80% is in the food. 80% is in the food. And if that 20%, regardless if you're doing bits of types of exercise, incorporate or allow aerobic to be in there. Now, my aerobic these days is not stepping in a ring and boxing, right? Because that time's gone for me. But what it is now is hiking, so I can hike 20, 30 kilometers for a week or more if I want to, which is, again, takes a lot of stamina and a lot of ability, the same as stepping into a ring, but it's a different way of using my body aerobically. So just have a look at how are you using your body, and remember that 80% is on your healthy eating. So number 8 is adding anti-inflammatory herbs. So this is super important. And the types of herbs that we're looking at are things like the spicy herbs like turmeric, the peppers, the thyme, the rosemary, the chili powders, the garlic. They're all there to help your body regulate inflammation and function at its highest self. Yeah. So get the herbs, get these things in your life, in your food, and grow them yourself. Herbs are so easy to grow, like they seriously are. Most of them just grow on their own. You've got to love them, there's no doubt about that. But they're really very easy. And even if you're in an apartment or a small place, you can have a little herb box. But having them readily available, you're probably more inclined to add them a lot more to your foods than having to go and buy them in a bottle. All right. So look at the herbs that are really going to help with your inflammation. So I'm going to leave it at that, because this document has a lot more, but I want you to experience it yourself. And again, if you missed the freebie and you didn't raise your hand, it's not too late. So all you have to do is let us know when this video comes out. If you didn't get that video, that we'll send it to you now, but it's only on offer till Friday. And also that, get excited and get involved, if you haven't registered yet, in our Manifesting Your Health 5-day challenge. This is a free challenge. It's one of our 3 in the suite, which is wealth, health, and limitless self. So this month it is health. So this is not, again, about just focusing on the obvious of habits that you've probably already got. All right, you've probably already got. This is going that extra level where I focus on 4 pillars of health, which is feeding the mind, feeding the gut, feeding the body, feeding the awesomeness. So there's a little bit of each in those 4 pillars. And then, of course, it's giving you the power and the knowledge of how to manifest. So really making sure that you're a part of creating this healthiest version of you, and really knowing what that looks like inside and out. Okay, so that starts on the 30th of October. Don't forget that registrations are open now, but they do close a couple of days before the event, and it is a free event. It's over a 5-day period, clearly, because it's called a 5-day challenge, but it's very easy to get involved. We drop in a video in the morning. You've got actions that you do during the day. And then if you can, you come to the live stream just like this in our private Manifesting Hub group, which you would then be a part of if you're not now. So there's the document. It's a great document. It's really just about how to utilize healthy eating, which is 80% of how we lose weight and how we keep well. So really utilizing healthy foods for vibrancy and vitality. I'll see you next week. Bye for now. Thanks, Magdalena.